I've been walking for about 5 minutes and come across this sign here, Powerhouse walking track to Old Power Station, 1 to 1.5 hours round trip. Very steep track, elderly and unfit advised not to go. I'm a little bit unfit, maybe I shouldn't go. Got this fence right next to me too. Danger guard dogs keep out private property. That's on the other side of the fence, even though the sign is on this fence. So down here is the track through the forest here. It is slippery because a lot of leaves on the ground, and west coast towns tend to be wet almost all the time, and it is quite steep coming downhill. So I'm going to take my time, hopefully don't fall, and we'll follow this track around and let's see if we can find the Ringtail Falls. So far about 15 minutes into our walk, the track is just slushy, sloppy underfoot in many areas. It's literally like walking through a 7-Eleven slushy in places. Other than that, just to take care that you don't slip over. The track's pretty damn good, easy to follow, at least at this stage. And on a day like this, which is nice and sunny overhead, it's really pleasant walking as well. In the distance you can hear Waratah Falls, which is a major attraction here in Waratah in Tasmania. You can hear it in the distance quite loudly. Although we're not chasing that waterfall today, hopefully we'll find Ringtail Falls. Surprisingly, there's been such little information I could find online. I didn't spend hours trying to search for it either, so surely there would be information somewhere. And I haven't checked all my old online haunts to try and find as much information as I could, so it's spur of the moment. So a little bit exciting really to try and explore. I'm just going off a conversation I had with one of the ladies at the general store here in Waratah, who basically said Ringtail Falls is basically off this track. So exciting, try to find it. Will I succeed? Drum roll please. It's been a fairly decent downhill walk so far, and is continuing to go downhill quite a ways actually. It's quite a deep sort of ravine that surrounds Waratah. Actually, Waratah's on the top of the ravine, and this is a ravine that Waratah Falls falls into, and it looks like we're skirting somewhat around it and deep into it, which is not really a problem, except when you're hiking doing a loop walk, what goes down must come up again, unless you die down here and no one finds your body. There won't be any death today, so I'm going to have to walk uphill again, so be a steady uphill walk as well. So be prepared if you want to do this track. You have the downhill sections, and then you got your constant uphill again, which we'll tackle later on, because I'm still going downhill. Been walking 20 minutes and it's been constant. So be careful, a little bit steepish there, a bit steep. Forest is really pretty. It's really nice here. The surrounds are very picturesque. The sounds of Waratah Falls in the distance and the birds, it's just making it just really delightful. So far I'm loving this walk. All these logs aren't pleasant, very slippery. I never enjoy walking on wet wood. Sorry, wet wood. Very easy to slip and fall. Fallen tree. To find a way through it. And another fallen tree. Had to find a way over this one, which isn't so easy. Only because wood is very slippery. Okay. Getting quite a few obstacles on this course with fallen trees. A little bit annoying, just need someone to come through with a chainsaw and tidy it up, which I'm sure at some point the locals will. Because to be honest, this track does look like it's regularly maintained. Okay, got a sign down here. Let's see what it has to say. Let's make my way down carefully. That's muddy and clay. Okay. So we've got two waterfalls according to this sign. Path to the top of Ringtail Falls is 80 meters to my left. So the old powerhouse, which is a continuation of the track, and lower Ringtail Falls is that way somewhere. So let's go check out the top waterfall. Path to the top of Ringtail Falls, 80 meters. Through another obstacle course with spider webs. Climb over this one. Certainly can hear the waterfall. Oh yes, you see it through the trees. That's not a small waterfall either. Carefully step down here, because down there is the top of Ringtail Falls. A lot of water pumping through. I'm not sure if that's normal or not for this waterfall. I'll assume not, because things are in flood around Tasmania at the moment. Sign over here. cross creek for track to Main Street. Steep and slippery in places, it says, very faintly. So I think this is a track we've got to take to get back to the main loop, but I'm not sure. Oh, let's check the Waterfalls. So I made my way to the bottom of the waterfall. There was a little track, and this is Ringtail Falls. The upper level, there's the lower level apparently I haven't seen yet. There's a lot of water flowing. Pretty place. If you're a waterfall enthusiast, yeah, this is really nice. Am I beautiful? Am I beautiful? Oh, thanks. Okay, back at the junction now. Oh, sorry, dry throat. So we're going to go have a look at the lower Ringtail Falls and off to the old powerhouse. So follow this track down here. Apparently, I'll trust the locals. So some heritage. The old powerhouse. Now, I could be incorrect here, but I believe it was part of the Mt Bischoff mining. So they had an old powerhouse that was hydroelectrically powered for its some of its electricity generation, of course. I don't know much more about that, but of course this whole area was part of a water race in order to pump water into the mining activities on Mt Bischoff. So found the building. Oh, look at this. It's even got old equipment in there. Oh, this is fun. And down here, some waterfalls down there too, some cute ones. Oh, I'm gonna have a bit of an explore. This should be fun. I'll explore the waterfalls first. So around here there was a sign to the base of Ringtail Falls, 100 meters. Okay, so I'll climb under fallen trees. Seems to be usual. Watch my step here. Very slippery, steepish slopes. Okay. And around. Why do I get the feeling this is taking me back to where we were? It's a little bit too overgrown to get through. Oh, might give this a miss. Already seen Ringtail Falls. So in spite of the sign saying takes you to the base of Ringtail Falls, the track's just too overgrown. But I believe, and I could be wrong here, but I believe that I found a way from the top of the falls down to see the waterfall properly. There may have been a few other little cascades beneath it, but basically that was Ringtail Falls. All right, back to this old shed. Judging by the corrugated iron, I doubt this is built back in the 1800s. Some old equipment. Very interesting. Okay, I'm back at the top of Ringtail Falls because the loop continues across this bridge. Now I believe a few days ago people weren't able to cross, the water levels were up, but today we're pretty lucky, so I'll cross over this bridge and we'll see what this loop walk does for us. Slippery wood. And now we start our uphill. Bit of crawling required. Okay. Well, this is steady uphill. Okay. Oh. Oh. Track is overgrown a little bit, or rather fallen trees. Oh. Take a breather. So I've just come from just over there in the distance. We walked pretty much really steadily and quite steeply uphill, and now we're within 200 meters of the main road of Waratah, and there's this little water race that's running around just down here. I'm not sure how old this water race is, but water races were pretty familiar or pretty common for feeding water into mine sites, so I wouldn't be surprised if this has been here for a long time. 100 years or more at least, I would say, but that's just a wild guess anyhow. So yeah, you got this little wooden planks that crosses over the water race, and some little uphill steps as well. You can just see here, not too far away from the road now, so we'll just continue walking. That was a steady uphill walk, a lot steeper coming out than it was on the other side of the loop walk where we're going down. So if I was to do this loop again, I'll do it in the reverse way than the way I've come in. So curious to see where we end up when we get to the road, just to try and get my bearings before we walk along the main street back to the car. This looks like an old four-wheel drive track, overgrown now. Doubt it's seen a car for a while. I made it back to the road from the loop walk. There's no signage here. Not sure there was ever signage, but chances are it was removed. Anyhow, there's an information sign just on the side of the road. Over there is the mountain, and some of the mining operations straight up that road there. So the walkie track's actually down this driveway and straight ahead. So you're walking beside some private property. The road takes us, well, back to the main road. This is the main road that loops around for Waratah. So the rest of the walk is along the road, which is good under feet. Nice and flat. So walked a little ways down the road. So basically the pub here in Waratah is just there. And as an extra bonus, we get Waratah Falls as well as part of the walk back. So Waratah Falls, of course, the major waterfall here in Waratah. So I'll walk around to the lookout. It's pretty here. It's a very quiet little town, but geez, it's pretty. So there's, just over there's the Bischoff Hotel here in Waratah. Little gazebo area down there for a picnic if you wanted to, with some signage there talking about the history and the waterfall itself. One of the things that this council has done in recent years was they made it wheelchair friendly. There wasn't this access here before with the footpath, but now it's the easiest waterfall to see pretty much in Tasmania. Literally you can see it from the car. You don't even have to get out of the car. And just over there, which in the camera looks like it's quite a distance away, but it's actually not too bad at all, is the beautiful Waratah Falls, and of course the surrounding township as well. And over there deep in the valley is where the Ringtail Falls was. So it's quite steep in that ravine through there. A lot of fun. I'm a little bit sore now coming out of it, but that's what you get for some of these hikes here in Tasmania. All right, so 2 waterfalls for the price of 1 in this loop walk. Get some bragging rights for doing that. Well done to the locals here at Waratah who have eked out that track to some historic remains as far as the power station's concerned, as well as putting up the signage for to the waterfalls itself. The track is in need of some work because there's a lot of fallen trees, especially near the power station, that made it pretty tough going, and also climbing out back to the road was quite hairy in places. But generally speaking, good track, excellent walk, and for a hike that's less than 2 hours, it's well worth doing if you're in this region.